Off we go. I am going to the office today. What day is today? Today is Thursday, May 7th. Do you know what? Tomorrow is my birthday. Happy birthday. What am I dealing with right now? What am I dealing with? We are still in the COVID-19 pandemic. I don't know, so many different things going on, so many different things in the news, but I don't know, man. Just a crazy, crazy world right now. My thought on it is mostly, there's so much other fuckery, if you will, at play right now that, I don't know, that's what worries me more about COVID-19. Yes, there's a health crisis going on. As much as young people always want to say, it's not that big of a deal because we're young and it's not really affecting our demographic, it is still something the human race is dealing with. Just because, my thought on it is more, just because something is new and it isn't doing harm right now doesn't mean it's not going to do harm. Who knows? It's kind of like, something along the topics that's in the news right now, or not so much right now, but vaping, for vaping, I don't know how long it's been around, 10, 15 years, something like that. So vaping, we don't know the long-term benefits or the long-term danger, damage of vaping. Is it safer than cigarettes? Is it not? Is it just as bad as cigarettes? We do not know. So I don't think right now we could really speculate about what vaping can do. Just like we can't really speculate what COVID-19 can do. Actually, that's all we could do, speculate, because we don't know. I don't know. No one knows what to know. Who knows? Anywho, what else am I dealing with? Got a little sales presentation today at work. Not with a client or anything, just with the internal team. Just kind of tightening down our messaging on different ingredients and mushrooms. Today we're going to discuss cordyceps mushrooms. Cordyceps is really, really fascinating mushroom. Lots and lots of data. I think there's a couple of different countries that over the last, I don't know, 20, 30 years have done, maybe longer than that, have done studies on large human populations and have shown the benefits of cordyceps so much for just the main thing someone's gonna say is it's endurance, like let's say running endurance, but the main thing about cordyceps is just it helps you use oxygen more efficiently. So if oxygen is kind of like what helps you build energy, and every cell in the body needs oxygen, basically cordyceps mushroom just helps you get more oxygen to the body. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that at work, kind of more how to tighten it down, that script, when we're talking to customers. But one thing that I find fascinating about the cordyceps mushroom, like the original mushroom, is that it grows on top of a caterpillar, and that in itself is kind of crazy. It's like a parasite growing inside of a caterpillar. But beyond that is that when cordyceps grows out in the wild, it has to survive in very, very high altitude, which means it has very low levels of oxygen that are available to this fungi, this organism. So this organism has to survive at a very high altitude with a lot of UV light and a whole lot of less oxygen. So it's crazy. So it's almost like when you're eating this mushroom, you're taking the benefits of this mushroom that grows in high altitudes. Kind of crazy. Anywho, see if I can get a little shot of Nuez right now. Pretty empty. This is the 10 freeway, 10 east, leaving the beach end of the 10 freeway, headed towards right towards past, the fuck am I saying? Headed right through, I guess this would be center of Los Angeles, and then goes through downtown, connects to the 60, and then I gotta take the 60 for maybe like 20 more miles to go to the warehouse. Anywho, yeah, freaking COVID-19, man. Right now, I am currently at 87 miles an hour. Now, there's a lot of CHP out right now, just because, honestly, when the pandemic started, I'm not gonna lie, man, I was hitting like 105 just to be like, oh man, look how empty it is, because, man, this freeway is never this empty. So for it to be this empty, you're kind of like, man, I'm gonna hit this freeway, you know? Anyhow, right now there's CHP. There's one CHP right there, right in front of me. But in the beginning, it was really empty, and I think because there was more of a scare and more of a panic in the beginning, I think there wasn't as many cops on the roads and on the freeways. So now that they kind of got the little things more under control, they have more available cops on the freeway. What else am I dealing with right now? Sorry about that. Right now, let's see. I was dealing with one of these bullion dealers. I was buying this silver bar, but I got on my Venmo because I pay him via Venmo, and I noticed that I paid him freaking, I don't know, like today would be 2 weeks ago. So today exactly is 2 weeks ago, and he hadn't shipped it. Now, in his defense, that week I placed a bunch of different orders, kind of randomly. Like I was kind of like, do I want to invest in that? Do I want to buy that? You know, and then kind of shopping around different stores and saying like, oh, do I want to buy this coin? Do I want to buy this bar? And then at the same time, I kind of was like, I had some money in Robinhood and in Stash, but just kind of sitting there, and I'm like, man, I kind of don't even know what's going on with the markets right now, as in they're all, it's freaking gambling right now. So I was like, I'm gonna pull out a little bit of the cash and then use it for more precious metals buying. So I got a little bit of gold, I got a little bit of silver, but then I was kind of like, this is about, I guess like 2 weeks ago, I kind of went a little order crazy, as I was like, all right, let me get that. Yeah, I'll get that too. But it wasn't like I was placing the orders right away. I kind of did sporadically, like maybe like 2 or 3 orders in one day, but then I would kind of like, oh, all right, let me get those 2 bars for, you know, they were 10 ounces each. So I don't know, they're like right at the going rate with like $195, between $195 and $205 a bar. So I'm gonna get those bars. And then I'll see this other dealer had, I don't know, a coin or something up, and I'd be like, let me get that. So I ordered a lot that week, so got all mixed up in the orders, and he's really busy. So when I messaged him a couple of times, like, hey man, what's up with this bar? What's up with this bar? I had a feeling that he had sold it, you know, because you start getting, especially when you get people ordering on Instagram and ordering on your website, then ordering, paying you via Venmo, via Cash App, freaking some people fucking paying crypto, you know. So it gets complicated. So I don't blame the dude. I know he has a bunch of freaking orders, but I think I'm a good customer. I buy a lot, and I was just kind of annoyed. But he messaged me this morning saying, oh man, honestly man, my guys messed up at the shop and I think they sold the bar you wanted. The reason I wanted this specific bar is because it was 4 nines, 9. Was that 4? 9. 4 nines. That means it's really, really pure silver. So hopefully he could still get that. He said he could get that, or give me another bar, or give me some silver shot or grain. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm not too picky right now on what I'm stacking. It's more of a, I just want the ounces, you know. So I told him, you know what, send me what you got, and, you know, give me the shot or give me another bar. And then he was like, what did he say? He said he was gonna go about an hour and a half. He was gonna go to one of his buddy's shops. His buddy should have that 4-9 bar, so hopefully I could get that too. What else is on the radar this morning? Let's see, what else am I dealing with this morning? I just realized I ran out of freaking gel this morning. I was doing my hair. I said, man, I got no gel. I don't think I was ordering. Normally I try to stay stocked, but I don't think I was ordering because of the Corona stuff. So I'm like, oh, I'm not going out as much. I'll just where I had at home, but man, now that we're at work, we're probably gonna go back to normal schedule. For the city, we go back to normal schedule next week, but I think we're gonna push it out to the beginning of June. So need freaking gel, be out in public again. But where are we at? Where are we right now? We are just passing downtown Los Angeles. I'm telling you, man, the freeways being this empty is not a normal thing. Not only is it not a normal thing, it's been super clear. The skies are so blue. You know, the beaches, there is people coming to the beaches, but they're still pretty empty. I haven't been driving through downtown. Maybe I'll drive through downtown on the way back, check it out, see how the empty streets look. This is my city, man. Love this city. I don't know why. Well, obviously I know why. I was born and freaking raised here, but I don't know, man. I travel a lot, and I like a lot of different cities. As in, what I mean when I say I like a lot of different cities is, my thought is, if I feel that, oh, you know what, I could live here, that means I like that city. There's a lot of cities that obviously you wouldn't mind visiting, you like going to, but that you could say, you know what, I could live here and I could feel comfortable, as in my zone, in my operational speed. There's a few cities like that for me. Barcelona is one of them. Where? Barcelona for the most part. Mexico City. Where else? I like Dublin, Ireland. I feel a little gloomy, but I like it. Let me get out of this guy. This guy in front of me is driving so slow. But anyhow, when you tie it all up together, I don't know. You know where I like a lot is New Orleans. I like New Orleans a lot. It's a little small, as in there's not a lot of people, and the population is, I wanted to say, leans towards lower income, but it doesn't. There's a lot of rich people there, so I guess there's not a big middle class. I feel that's what I feel. Yeah, there's not a big middle class, and me, man, I like to be right in the middle, because some days I like to feel poor as a motherfucker, and then some days I like to feel rich, or just fuck, you know. Some days you want to be a baller and you want to show, like, man, I got some extra coin to spend, you know. And some days you're like, nah, man, I ain't got 2 pennies to roll together. So I like being able to go between those scenes. And I feel that in New Orleans, for tourism, there's everything in between. You know, you want to be a baller, or you want to rub some pennies. There's everything in between with tourism. But with living there, I don't feel I've explored it enough. As much as I like it, as much as I've been there, I don't feel I've explored it enough to really, I don't know what you say, to really know where the middle class is. I don't know. I've been to some, like, areas where it's quote unquote locals live there, but then again, it's more like a hipster area. But I've now been to Barcelona, I don't know how many times, and I don't mean like 20 times, I don't know, maybe like 10 times, something like that. But I really like it there. I feel very, very comfortable there, because I am Latino, so I do speak Spanish. And I feel that Barcelona is a very international city, but Spanish dominant, obviously, kind of like LA. It's a very international city, but the subculture, or the in and out, as I like to say, going in and out of a scene, is predominantly Spanish. Man, kind of hungry. Anywho, catch you guys later.